Welcome back to Broken Electronics. I'm Lee, and I have something for you today. A while ago, I did a video on my PowerBook 1400 CS, where I installed macOS 8.6 in an effort to get it to understand drivers for an Ethernet card. Unfortunately, I hadn't really looked at the card well enough. It's a card bus card. It won't go in. So, I have obtained a PC MCIA Ethernet adapter card. This will go in. It has a little dongle. I know people don't like dongles, but I kind of like this because it keeps a low profile on the card, so there shouldn't be a problem using the second slot when I put it in. Now, so I'm going to put it in and try to get that old machine on my network. I sure hope it works. Stay tuned to see. Well, this should be a pretty easy upgrade. Yeah, actually, the dongle's a good idea. It's something else you have to bring with you, but you can just leave this card inserted. You take the dongle out, and that'll travel perfectly well. I mean, not that realistically I'm going to be taking this machine anywhere. I usually get everything positioned off camera, but let's power it on. It's going to take a while to boot up. There's our Happy Mac. Remember to plug in the Ethernet cord. Yeah, 8.6 is still on there, and my intention, unless I come up with a really good reason to change it, is to simply continue with this. Well, let's let it start up. Stay tuned. Well, this is not exactly good news. The correct software you need to use the PC card in the lower PC card slot is not installed. Do you want to eject the card now? No, we don't. Okay, well, this came just with the card. It did not come with any installation media. So, we're going to have to see what... Now, it's possible that if I upgrade to 9.2.2, maybe it'll recognize it. Well, I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research. Stay tuned. Well, I switched over to the Pismo. Plugged the card into the Pismo, and OS 9 did the same sort of thing it has done with other cards. It recognizes that the card is there. It even indicates what it's supposed to be doing, but it doesn't work. So I went into OS X Tiger, and yeah, much the same thing. So I plugged the Ethernet cord back into the actual built-in Ethernet port. Got on Macintosh Garden, and sure enough, they have the adapter, which if you look down at the bottom, there's this Dana Communicard Ethernet and Communicard Plus, PCMCIA cards, driver 2.2 from the Mac OS 8.1 install CD. Now, I haven't got an 8.1 install CD. I've got the 8.0, which is the power computing disk. I've also got it on floppy disk, but 8.0 won't have this driver. Now 8.6 may not have this driver either. So the big problem, the machine that really needs the driver, there's no real way to communicate with it. So I can download it, see if an external floppy drive will work on this machine, copy it to a floppy, and then put the floppy into the 1400 CS. Install a driver, and then this nightmare of having to communicate with that old machine may finally go away. Well, I'm going to try that, and I think I'm going to try all of that off camera, so stay tuned. All right, I could not, for the life of me, find that USB floppy drive. I have no idea where I've put it. Darn it. All my organization has gone for naught. Anyhow, I have switched to the Wall Street, and using Internet Explorer, because I haven't really set up the Wall Street yet, but anyhow, using Internet Explorer, I got onto Macintosh Garden and downloaded the driver. Now here we have a floppy disk drive. I can copy the driver onto a floppy, put the floppy drive that I have taken out in favor of a CD drive into the 1400 CS, and then get the driver installed. At least that's the current plan. We'll see what else goes wrong. Stay tuned. Okay, we're finally back on the 1400 CS. I did, in fact, copy the floppy drive, the floppy disk, copy the driver onto the floppy disk, put the floppy drive into this 1400 CS and booted it up. Now to insert said disk. Go in, there we go. The sounds of a floppy disk. Okay, and here's our disk. There's our driver. Let's drag the driver onto the desktop. And we can now eject Yeah. Eject the floppy. And there it is. Okay. All right. Right now you can see the okay, where did it go? Ah. Interesting. Yeah, it's been a long time. I think the ins and outs of using floppy disks are not really there. Yeah, that's an alias. This is a slow computer. Okay, stuff it is extracting. And of course, yeah, it's reading off. Drag and drop from floppy disk obviously doesn't really copy the file over, it makes an alias. All right, and here is our installer. A folder with said installer. And a README file. Something tells me I better read this. Okay. Fix the installer issue and support you. When upgrading from a previous version, well, that's not applicable. Bug fixes. No. This isn't doing much. Yeah, I've got things aimed so that you can see them being more important than me. Okay, well, let's just do it. And all of this is actually happening from the floppy. Okay, connect. Dana, I assume that's how that's pronounced. The passive matrix screen, it is tough to see. And so I've got the camera pointed right at it, and I'm having problems seeing everything. Okay, install. Dana Diagnostics. Okay. Your Macintosh may need to be restarted after installation is complete. You wish to continue? Sure. Oh, that's right. There were things in the previous systems folder that needed. previous system was 8.0. Installation was successful. In order to take advantage of the new software, your Macintosh needs to be restarted. Okay. Okay. All right, this restart goes forever, and I think we'll need probably to shut it down again and restart it with the PC card in place, but maybe not. Anyhow, stay tuned. Okay, we're booted up. Let's try putting the card in. There we go. Come on. Well, and there we see the card is now recognized. We're not getting that error we were getting earlier. Okay. We shall plug the Ethernet in now. I don't think we need to do anything in here. We can go back to that if we need to. All right. Let's go to the network browser. Okay. Well, I'm clearly going to need to fiddle with this a little bit, but we're making progress anyhow. Stay tuned. Well, the oldest saying that exists in the world of messing around with computers, when in doubt, reboot. All right, so I have, in fact, rebooted the computer and discovered some things. The control panels under Apple Talk. And suddenly I had an option to connect via alternate Ethernet, which was not there before I rebooted. Okay. Similarly, we'll move down here to TCP/IP. Don't overshoot. And what does this have to say? Okay, yeah, again, connect via alternate Ethernet, which I pre-selected. And then looky here, we have an IP address. That's promising. Okay. Now, connect to the internet. Internet Explorer 4.5. Oh, goodness gracious Lord. Yeah, its start page would be set to apple.com and it will be unable to bring it up. That's okay. There is one web page that I am certain even IE 4.5 can open, and that's Google. And here we are. Can't load the image, but we've got a search field, buttons for Google search. I'm feeling lucky. Now what happens here? Let me search for broken electronics. It should bring up search results. I don't know if we've been under this name long enough to actually you know, it may just not be viewable. Alright, well, I'm not going to worry about this a whole lot because I have one other thing to look at. We got to Google. There is internet. We are on a network. Alright, let's look in the network browser. Broken's Quicksilver. Connect to the file server Broken's Quicksilver as. Oh, is this going to work? Oh, I know. Oh. Typo in the name. And there we go. We've got the options for the three, the Leopard, OS 9, and Tiger installations. We're on the network. Yeah, and this is important because what the Quicksilver can do, via either Leopard or Tiger, is contact my network server. OS 9 and earlier can't do that. But on the Quicksilver, I can boot into Leopard, pull things off the network server, put them on the OS 9 partition, boot into OS 9, and OS 9 can communicate with 8.6. Actually can communicate as far back as 8.0. I would think it can probably communicate at least as far back as 7.6, although I have no way of testing that. Well, success. It's never easy, but perseverance can pay off. Well, anyway. Feel free to join me in Newcastle. As I say, be good to other people. Be good to yourselves. Take very good and careful care. We shall be back with more videos really soon. This has been Broken Electronics.